I just got my visa. I'm so excited. I'm officially moving to Italy. This is crazy.
All right, I have no idea if I'm in focus, but let's just hope that I'm in focus. Hey friends, it's Tess. This is Wander Wealthy, and today I'm sharing a little bit of an impromptu video because I am officially moving out of the country. If you're new here, Wander Wealthy is a place to learn and grow in all aspects of life, but mainly personal finance, personal development, and travel. And I have been traveling quite a lot in the past couple years. Through those travels, I met my boyfriend who lives in Italy and is Italian, and we've been going back and forth, traveling quite a lot to see each other. I've spent a good amount of time in Italy, so we set out on the process of figuring out how I could move to Italy without us having to legally get married. Me being self-employed, it was a little bit difficult because, first of all, getting a job in Italy isn't even easy for Italian citizens. So getting a job as an American trying to move to Italy so I could get sponsorship would be quite difficult as well. Plus, I didn't want to give up everything that I've built in my own business, so that didn't make a whole lot of sense. It was kind of hard to figure out how we could get me to Italy without having to forego some of the time in my week, because our next option, other than getting married, of course, was to become a student. Now, I do not speak Italian yet. I speak very, very little, and it helped that I learned Spanish in high school, but I'm still far, far, far from fluent. So we figured the best investment and the best way for me to get to Italy as soon as possible was going through an Italian language school. I read pages upon pages of blog posts out in the world talking about what a nightmare it was, even just to get a student visa for Italy through the Italian consulates around the United States, and I was not looking forward to it at all. I was very, very worried. In fact, I was up the night before, super late trying to sort everything out, and there were a couple last minute things that I had to get together. It is one day before my visa appointment at the Italian consulate in Chicago. Let me turn this down. And I am just getting everything ready. This is all of the paperwork you have to get together, even just to get a student visa, which I am doing on my own. I'm guessing if you study abroad, you can get a visa through your school and it's a little bit easier, but when it's the process of you as a sole individual, it's kind of a lot of work. So I had to buy an entire new cartridge of ink for my printer, and I am printing off a ton of stuff. This has definitely been quite the process, but I'm excited, I'm nervous, I've had breakdowns and meltdowns and then gotten really excited and motivated again. So moving to a new country is definitely not an easy choice, especially when, you know, it comes up because of a relationship and knowing that you really want to do it, but also you want to do it for the sake of your relationship. But after stressing out a whole lot and getting all of the papers together that I needed to get, I ended up going to my appointment and it went relatively breezy. Ciao friends, I just got done with my visa appointment and got home and it went shockingly well. I think I just got lucky. I probably won the lottery in this regard because I got the nicest gentleman ever, and he was wonderful. He was so kind. He was just excited for me, and I feel like so far so good. So the gentleman at the Italian consulate told me it would be 7 to 10 days when I was expecting it to be like anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks. After maybe a week and a couple days, I emailed the consulate because they gave me the email address, and I emailed them and they were like, yep, it's ready for pickup. So I went downtown today and picked up my visa, and now I can officially say that I am moving to Italy. So with all this pent-up anxiety and stress, everything ended up going relatively smoothly, and I'm really, really glad to have this entire process over with so that I can make that next move, which is finish getting all of my home kind of organized, decluttered, and packed up. I'm not packing up my actual physical belongings. A lot of the furnishings are staying, and I'm going to rent out my home through a property management company. But I do need to obviously get my precious items and my clothes and all that to Italy. So I've been working hard and filming a lot of that for you for some spring cleaning inspiration. So you guys will see all of that good content coming up in the next couple weeks as well. So just to share a couple logistical items in case you're curious or wanting to do this process for yourself. I got a 1-year study visa for studying in Italy, and I did it through an Italian language school. The requirements are that you need to be in class 20 hours per week, and the school that I picked, they actually have a light option where you're in class 10 hours a week and then you do 10 hours of self-study. And what a blessing, because I need to learn the language. I'm going to be living in Italy, and I have people that my boyfriend is very close to that don't speak English. So it is a great opportunity for me to learn the language and for me to, I don't know, start having some structure around the rest of my workday. That also means that I have to be hyper productive with the time that I am able to work, because my work week has been kind of shrunk by 10 to 20 hours. So I'm super excited to see how this impacts my time management skills and just my ability to get the same amount of output for less input. I'm sure there will be a video about that coming in the near future. Beyond that, the study visa application process is a little bit frustrating, and I think it's just because you have to get together so much material. Let me just run through really quickly what you have to get together if you want to move to Italy on a student visa. Okay, so I'm not gonna get too close because I don't want you guys to see all of my information, but basically you need your passport and a copy of your passport, your driver's license and a copy of your driver's license, a booked flight, which is like the chicken or the egg situation, because I wanted to book my flight, but I didn't know if they were gonna get me the visa in time. So I literally booked it tonight so that I can have that 24-hour rule to change it by tomorrow if needed. So we'll see about that. I have the application papers for my school. Then it's like a huge stack of papers. What we did was we went to the school and had a conversation with them, and they prepared all of the paperwork that said that I had a place to stay, which I was lucky because I can live with my boyfriend, but some people might need help getting accommodation, and they will actually help you get the accommodation. But they help you with the paperwork that you need, because you need to get a signed piece of formal paperwork from the school saying that you are accepted into the school and that you paid for the year in full. And unfortunately, you do have to prove that you could pay for the full year of the schooling in full. Now, it's not like the cost of the college education in order to go to college in the US. Even colleges in Italy and around the world are a lot cheaper than a lot of US colleges, but especially the Italian language school, again, is not nearly as expensive as it costs to go to school in the US for a full year. So just keep that in mind, but you'll have to be able to pay for it in full, whether that's through financial aid or through your own bank. Now, the school, like I said, provides the proof that you have a place to live. If I didn't have that capability of having the school show that, then I would have had to have my boyfriend fill out a form and provide a copy of his ID, and I'd have to take that to the consulate as well. I have my transcript from my college, which was hilarious to dig up, because this is not a study abroad program for me. I've already graduated from college, so I had to go to my old college, the university I graduated from, and get the full transcript. I think that cost like $7. The insurance that I had to buy, private health insurance in Italy. Now, your health insurance, if you are from the States, might have an option for you to have international health insurance. You might have to pay a little bit extra or something. I actually just went through a company in Italy that ensured that whatever I paid for this health insurance, it would then allow me to get the visa. And I think it was definitely less than $200 for the entire year to be covered and receive pretty good coverage for health insurance. I have bank statements that show that I have enough money in order to live in Italy. Different consulates require different things, and I was pretty worried about this. Some consulates say that it needs to be an official bank letterhead with an official banker signed off on it and have the signature notarized, but I just printed off my bank account statement from my most recent statement that I had to show that I had enough funds in my bank in order to live in Italy. Now, the fund requirements, I've read different things online, but it works out to be between $800 and $900 per month, multiplied by the number of months that you plan to stay there. So for me, it was $800 to $900 times 12. And I needed to show that I had that amount of money available to me in order to get my visa. They require this because they want to make sure that you're not going to have to rely on their government or their system in order to live your life in Italy, and so that you can also get back. So I also had to prove that I had the funds in order to buy a return flight home. I have the visa application, and I had to pay a fee. Study visas over 90 days are not free. The ones less than 90 days are, but over 90 days are not free. I learned that at the last minute. And so the day of, the morning of, I actually had to go and get a money order for 50 euro in order to pay for my student visa. Two things I didn't mention that you have to have are passport size like photos, which you can get at Walgreens or CVS, and they're about $15. And priority mail express prepaid envelope in case they need to send you your visa and passport in the mail, which was not cheap. I wanted to share the dollar amount, the cost that was related to this moving process too, because I just think that some people don't realize that it can be expensive to move to another country, even if it's for studying purposes. And it's definitely a privilege that I feel very blessed to be able to have, and that a lot of people do get and some people don't. I will say that as far as proving your financial capabilities, you don't necessarily have to have all of that cash in your bank account. You can provide proof that you have access to credit, or that you might have some federal student aid, or that your parents can also help sign off on your ability to have access to money in order to live in Italy without, having to rely on their system, and also be able to return home after your visa is up. Now, there's a whole lot more details that I will have to sort out when I get there. There's a lot of paperwork that you still have to do once you do get in Italy if you are planning on moving there for longer than 90 days. And I'm sure I will be documenting that process as well, because I just think it's interesting. And there's a lot of you out there who have even commented on some of my past videos about being interested in moving to Italy, and there are a couple different ways that you can do it legally, and I would definitely recommend doing it legally. So I'm happy to share with you all of those things. So any questions that you have for me, I can help answer them as I go through the process myself. And if you have more questions about applying for a study visa, go ahead and comment below, because I can make a follow-up video to this one. I'm super excited about this new journey. It's bittersweet to have to leave my home, because you all know I love my home in Chicago, but it's time for a new adventure. So until I see you in my next videos, which there will be a couple showing you around my condo, especially as I clean it out, but then we'll be reporting from Italy. So until then, I hope you wander wealthy. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video if you do, and I can't wait to see you later.